Alrighty, rock on everybody, rock on. And rock out with your cook out. Alright, I just want me would say. Alright, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal metal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday afternoon video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the screech marks below. Share the video all over the internet. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, Coney. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely by Satan's minions, and then Satan and Ozzy will come out and eat the rest of your soul. So don't do it. Go to your garbage channel and do it there. Because nobody cares about you. I certainly don't. And if you don't like it, tough shit. That's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because you miss anything, well, you're pretty much SOL, and I think we all know what that means by now. And if you don't know, well, now you know. Figure it out, asshole. And that's that. And for newbies out there, if you're coming to my channel for the very first time, and you like wrestling, sports, music, movies, whatever you like, you came to the right place. So when you do subscribe, as we say, the business, because it is a business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab your nice, tasty cold one, and we all know what soda's in there. Because we don't drink alcohol on our show. Unlike certain other people we know. But I digress. But sit back, relax, you grab your nice, tasty, cold one, put your stinky feet up, and enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You don't, well, get out of here, go watch somebody else, and then pretty much go fuck yourself. And that's that. You don't like it? Too bad. Go watch somebody else. You don't have to watch me. But you'll watch me because you got nothing else to do. I mean, you could. You don't have to watch me. I don't like forcing you to. You just watch me because you think you can get your rocks off and your shits and giggles off on me. But I'm laughing right back at you, bitch. So, it is what it is. So, that's that. But thank you for the free view and the free subs, assholes. But for the good people, thank you very much. And we keep going. As we're over 1,100 subscribers as of right now, on the road to 1,200. When? Don't know. I don't think we're going to get there by Easter. I think probably get maybe halfway there. But I think we'll get to 1,200 maybe by Memorial Day or by the start of the summer in June. So we'll see what happens with that. Just about 800 subscribers on the Rank channel. That's pretty damn good. Hopefully we'll get to 1,000 by the end of the year. We'll see. Got a long way to go before we get to the end of the year. But hopefully we'll be hitting some big, huge milestones throughout this year. And we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, on your Wednesday afternoon, not Wednesday night yet, but Wednesday afternoon, March the 4th, 2026. We're 4 days away from turning the clock forward an hour, and it's going to be almost 70 degrees next week. Woo! Gotta love that. I can't wait for that. Tomorrow's going to be, tomorrow and Friday going to be a little chilly, and then Saturday's going to be near 60, and then Sunday and Monday, oh, you gotta love it. 70 degrees and sunny. It's going to feel like early spring. Oh, love it. Love it. And then it's going to go down a little bit by next weekend, and, old man winter saying, I ain't done yet, rock! But you will be done. Get out of here. Give me my 80-degree weather by April, by Easter. I want 85 in the shade when the Easter Bunny comes. But we'll see what happens with that. And we're pretty much 4 weeks away, about a month away from Easter, so that Easter Bunny be hopping along. And, got that. Baseball is going to be coming up in a couple weeks. Got the World Baseball Classic starting tomorrow. That should be fun. Lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff. And also, tonight, we got AEW Dynamite from El Paso, Texas. Scared in Cowboys that night. So we got that. We got Thekla taking on the hometown girl. And that's Thunder Rosa! Yay! Alright. For the AEW Women's title, we got a tag team match between... Hi guys, it's me, Darby. I just want to let you know I'm gonna team up with Peter Gilmore's favorite person in the whole wide world, and that's Army Cassidy. Fuck you guys. Alright, those two schmucks are gonna take on Gabriel Kidd and Clark Connors in a tag team match. We're gonna start the show off with Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF, defending the Triple B belt against Mr. Kevin Knight of Jet Speed. Guess who wins that one? Obviously, we all know who. So we got that. Hangman's going to be in action. I think they're going to be defending the Trios titles. We'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour cure for insomnia. And that's AEW Dynamite. And we get that. Raw's rating was number 7 on Netflix. Not bad. Collision went down over the weekend. Down to 300 and something thousand. TNA pretty much stayed the same, so that's nice. SmackDown went way up. Almost a 1.8 in the ratings. 1.8 million, not 1.8 thousand. I'm just saying. So, some good stuff this week from wrestling. We don't know NXT's ratings as of yet. And we'll see what happens with Dynamite tonight and the rest of everything else. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys. Got a lot to talk about in the next couple hours. Going to be doing my AEW Dynamite and Collision review right after this video. And then we'll get ready for Dynamite. And then maybe later tonight, your Dynamite review. If not, tomorrow afternoon sometime before we get to Ring of Honor and TNA. And that's pretty much it. Alright, but right now, everything I'm saying right now is happening right now. What happened to then? You stupid fuck, you missed it. Get out of here. Alright, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your... Well, it's not your late, and it's not out of date, but it's late NXT review for last night, March the 3rd, 2026. And as always, we are emanating from the Capitol Wrestling Center outside the parking lot in Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida. Alright, this is the go-home show before this Saturday night's NXT Vengeance Day. Should be a great show. We got a couple of matches added to the show. One got changed with a stipulation put in. So everything is looking pretty damn nicely for Vengeance Day. One match is probably be changed due to somebody's injury. I think we all know who that person is. And we still, got Vicky Starks and below average Joe Hendry for the NXT World Title. But we got a couple more matches announced. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any more of your precious time that I already wasted. But you clipped it, so because that's all you can do. But I digress on that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we start off. Oh, by the way, before we start off, we have our commentary team, as always, every Tuesday night. The man with a creepy jacket and lots of candy. You know him, you love him, you can't get enough of him. The man who eats lots of Skittles, too. And that's Vic Joseph, and the man who smokes more fucking weed combined than you do. And that's the two-time Hall of Famer. He's crazy. He's Budak Snow. And that's Booker T, sucker! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Calm down. Simp. Simp Booker T. Alright, we got that. Alright, NXT last night wasn't that bad. There was pretty mid. Mid. That's what it was. But anyway, we got a recap of last week's show, which had not one, not two, but 3 title changes. And then Delta turning on the resident surfer girl, Ruka. So, most of the show was written by me last week. This week, not so much. Anyway, so we start out with the new North American champion, and that's Myles. Don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. Comes out with the traditional North American title strap, the red strap, instead of the Canadian national title. Comes out in a nice, like, maroonish red suit. Did you get that at the Men's Warehouse there, Myles? Because when you go to the Men's Warehouse, you want to look like Myles, you want to look good, you know, for your lady, some of you. Others, you don't look good. But I digress. But when you go to the Men's Warehouse, pick out a nice little suit, tell them Peter Gilmore sent you, and when you do, you buy that nice suit, you try it on, you might like the way you look. They'll guarantee it. When I go, they always guarantee it, because I have a lifetime membership. Ha! Eat that, bitches. So, nice suit there, Myles. Anyway, so he heard the announcement loud and clear, but he's not here to talk about his sob story because we've all been there. Yeah, his sob story, like, can't hear. Anyway, but instead he wants to thank his biggest hater for doubting him, and that's all ego Ethan Page. All that did was unleash a demon inside of Myles. And he's like, can you hear me now? Can you feel me now? Can you hear 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 me now? Yeah, we can hear you, Myles. Now this guy heard you loud and clear. That's all ego Ethan Page. Comes out, says, I think we heard enough from you. How about a thank you from you? I'd like to get a thank you for, you know, helping you get your first major title in NXT. He's just like, one bad night, you know, and, you know, I just had one bad night, but you've had quite a few great nights. Well, actually, well, I've had wait, take that back. Paige had one bad night, but he's had quite a few great nights. So Myles like, hey, you want a title shot? You got it. Let's do it right here, right now. And then Robbie E, you know, the interim GM comes out and says, no, we're not going to do this. You know, says, we're not going to do this, but we got a referee, get down there. So we got a suits match, basically, because both of them are in their casual attire. Or you can do a reverse, well, not a reverse, but, you know, they're fighting in their suit and ties and pants. And they're ripping them off. It feels like a bra and panties match, almost. But for the guys. No one wants to see that, but it is what it is. Alright, so the first segment, 2.5 out of 5 stars. We get to the match for the North American title. Decent. Not great, but decent. They're both in their suits. They start the brawl fast. Shirts being ripped off. Oh, that's going to cost people money. Get new ones. They go to the outside. Myles drives Ethan over the announcer's table. Did I hit Vic Joseph? Damn! We go to break, come right back. Myles hits a beautiful drop kick. Ethan then pulls out something for a cheap shot. It was a pen or something, I don't know. And for a near fall. And then Ethan loses his pants because they were pretty much shredded, you know, during the match. Gets caught in an ankle lock. That gets broken up. Ethan then loses a shoe. And, well, actually, Ethan wanted to use the shoe. Who uses a shoe? Honestly! And then Myles like, alright, I'll take your shoe. Bam! Right behind the referee's back. Then hits Born Again, which is basically the Danger Zone by Nick Nemeth, our good buddy, who parks Issa's car perfectly. And that's Ryan's big brother! Alright, so he hits that. The zigzag, Danger Zone, whatever you want to call it. He goes at Born Again. 1, 2, 3 to retain. the North American title in a smidge over 7 minutes. Was it great? No. I thought it was It was pretty That's what I think. When we move on with that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we move on. Alright, then we go to Sarah Schreiber in the back talking to Delta about what happened last week when she turned on her former best friend, Ruka. And Zoe's like, I don't want to talk about that. I got a match to worry about for the NXT Women's title. I gotta worry about Casey Kane, Casey Mahal. So that's that. So she leaves in a huff. Alright, then we go to the dreaded parking lot, where we see Deuces and Jokers, Dark State, Saquon Sugars, Saquon Sugars, Osiris Griffin, Cutler, and Dion Lennox. They're waiting for my cousin, Tony D'Angelo, in the parking lot, but they run up to Robbie E. and some security guards, and Robbie's like, hey, we gotta take this inside, we're not gonna do this shit outside, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so they go inside, then a nice-looking car, it looked like a Mustang, and comes into the parking lot, and out comes my cousin! Cuz, get in here. That's my cuz. Drives a great car. That car was great. Gonna drive me later? Down to the place, right? You know the place. The place. The place. Okay, good. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. My cousin, Tony D'Angelo, who's gonna get me some Carvel for $2. You get it for $5. Or whatever you buy. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go down to the spot. We're gonna get some ice cream. We're gonna chill. Anyway. Alright, so Tony D arrives in his nice-looking car, goes into the trunk of his car somewhere. I thought legit, I thought somebody was in there. Did you, kill a body or something like that? Not your hot wife and soon-to-be mother to your kid. By the way, yeah, Tony D is about to be a daddy. So I'm gonna be a grandpa again. So. Grandpa! Don't call me grandpa! Grandpa? I am not grandpa! Grandpa? Yes. Dexter. Anyway. So yeah, so my cousin comes out, and he takes out a crowbar from his trunk of the car. Oh, he mean business. He about to whack somebody. So look out. Alright, so I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. We move on. Alright, we go back inside the Capitol Wrestling Center, and the beautiful Blake Monroe. Oh my. She comes out looking like $1,000,000. Gets into the ring for a promo. Says she was expected to feel rage and anger when Ms. Parker, Jada Parker, kept costing her things, but the reality is Jada needs her, and all Jada's done is confirm Blake's value. Okay. People love to obsess over her, and Jada is someone who is obsessed with emotions, and the fastest way to relevancy is to come after Blake, which is why Blake is going to take care of Ms. Parker at Vengeance Day, one-on-one. Okay, simple, right to the point. And then, cue Ms. Parker, Jada Parker comes out, gets on the mic, and says, I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth, Blake. The glamour is insecure, which isn't the case with me. You've been a supporting character all your life, really now. And the reality is, you need me. Okay? And at Vengeance Day, I'm going to prove that you're pretty much soft. Soft? Oh, okay, you're trying to be Big Cass? There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T, soft! Almost spelled it wrong when he said it. By the way, fuck Enzo Amore. Sorry. You fake Italian. I digress. You want a real Italian? Me and my cousin Tony D'Angelo. Just saying. Anyway. So Jada's like, at Vengeance Day, I'm gonna prove that you're soft, If you take away the glamour, all you have is a mediocre bitch. Oh, that set Blake off. We got a cat fight! Cat fight! Somebody called Joey Styles. They brawl, and then security had to break it up. Obviously. And we move on with that. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Thought it was pretty damn good. And they're gonna beat the crap out of each other on Saturday night. We move on. Alright, then we go to the men's locker room, where we have the Vanity Project, the Evolved Men's Champion Jackson Drake, and the NXT Tag Team Champions Smokes and Brett Baylor, the guy that looks younger than Shane Douglas, the young Shane Douglas I call him. He don't look like me, he can suck my ass! He stopped the franchise! Okay, calm down, Shane. Calm down. Francine, yeah, can you get him, please? Thank you. You look good. The franchise. Okay. Moving on. Alright. So they're talking to a really depressed Ethan Page after his loss to Myles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. And they apologize for not being out there with him. But then, absolute Ricky Starks, who looked like he was in his pajamas. You can get those too at the Men's Warehouse. The ones that he had. So Ricky tells Ethan, Ricky tells Jackson Drake to worry about his Evolved Men's title match tonight on, his Evolved title match on Evolve. And, then he tells, Brett Baylor and Smokes to worry about their tag team titles. So they leave, and then Ricky is off to prep for his Ricky Starks Experience concert at the end of the show. And Ethan's a little sad camper. Aww. But he understands. At least he understood. You understood the assignment. And that's that. And we get that. 6 o'clock, and it's not even dark yet. But this time next week, dark would be around almost 7:30, close to 8 o'clock. I can't wait! I love it. More daylight for that ass. We got that. Alright, I gave the Vanity Project, Ricky, and Ethan, I gave that segment 3 out of 5 stars, and we move on with that. Alright, Sean Legacy, he's in another part of the locker room. He congratulates the new Speed Champion, Pepe Le Pew, otherwise known as Idiot Le Fleur. He's there with, what's his name, Eli Knight, who had that triple threat match last week against this guy who comes into the room, the Pasta, Jasper Troy. He comes in and says, I want a triple threat rematch next week. Okay. Is it going to be the same time limit? I assume it is. 7 minutes. We'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. And that's that. Alright, speaking of the Speed title, we go to the women's side. We have the number 1 contenders tournament first round match, the final match in the first round. We got my girl Maddie Wankowski takes on the woman who has thick as fuck thighs, and that's Nikita Lyons. Kendall Gray, the Evolved Women's Champion, at ringside with Maddie. Decent match. Lasted just under 3 minutes. Did I say just under 3 minutes? Yes, I did. Alright, so it's also with Nikita fighting off her kicks of doom with those long as fuck legs. But Maddie comes right back with a shot to the ribs. Nikita's release fisherman suplex. Nice for a near fall. Maddie then chops away at the big redwood tree. Didn't go anywhere. Says somebody running clothesline. That worked. And then he drop kicks, puts Nikita on the floor, comes right back in with a mean-looking spin kick to face. That was impressive. Most impressive, Nikita. Most impressive. We get that. And Nikita is then sent shoulder first into the ring post. Ow. And then Maddie locked in the final wrench, otherwise known as cattle mutilation. I wonder where she learned that from. Nigel McGuinness. By the way, Nigel and his hot Asian wife had another baby. Very nice, very nice. But even very nice, yeah. So, congrats to Nigel and his hot Asian wife for, I think, their second baby. The future of professional wrestling. We get that. Alright, so Maddie gets the win. Actually, 2.25 out of 5 stars. So, next week, she will face Thea Hale in the finals of the Speed Tournament, and the winner of that goes on to face Fallon Don Henley for the Women's Speed Championship on St. Patrick's Day. That's March 17th in Houston, Texas. Scare them Cowboys that night. So, we got that. But, congrats to my girl Maddie. Maybe she'll win. Maybe she wins the title. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, we got that. Alright, we go to the back. We have the NXT World Champion, this guy again. Below average Joe Hendry. Congratulates Myles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne, on his title win last week. Though, he says, listen to Ricky Starks makes him wish he was deaf too. Uh-oh. Myles like, I thought Myles was about to leave. I'm like, fuck you, man. Myles does the Joe Hendry pose. No, he turns his back. And then, he's like, I'm just kidding. And then he teases being annoyed, but they're pretty much fine. Right. You're just acting crazy, Myles. You think the line that Punk said about Roman's dad, Sika, you think Roman's gonna let that slide? No! Punky Brewster's gonna be in a box next to Larry. That's where he's gonna be after WrestleMania. But if I was Myles, I wouldn't take that shit. I'm like, you really, dude? Really? Yeah, we're fine. Fuck you anyway. Alright, move on. Alright, after that, I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Mrs. Kaylani Jordan training for her NXT Underground match with Lorna Sissy. And she's getting trained by, well, somebody that knows the Underground and Underground matches, and that's Shayna Baszler. She still got it. I don't know why WWE fucked with her. Oh, they fucked her up so bad. Oh yeah, she got the tag team titles with Ronda Rousey, and then pretty much she beat Ronda Rousey's ass, I think, at SummerSlam that one year. And then really should have gave her the women's title at WrestleMania 36, but who did they give it to? Becky Lynch, and then pretty much Shayna Baszler's stock went way down. And yet she was in that thing with Sonya Deville later on. I didn't even like that. So, we move on. But it's great to see Shayna doing something. Doing something! She's a coach in NXT, so that's pretty damn good. And we got that. Speaking of NXT, LFG, LFG Season 3 begins April the 26th at 10 p.m., preceded by Biography, WWE Legends, and Most Wanted Treasures. That's fun, so put that on your DVR coming up week after WrestleMania. So you can go watch that beginning at I believe at 8 or 9 p.m. And then you watch LFG. LFG Season 3 in the tree. That all rhymed. Yeah. Alright, so we got all that. Alright, move on. Alright, then we got a sit-down interview with Tatum Paxton, the creepy girl, and the Women's North American Champion, Brookie Hogan 2.0 brother, Izzy Dame, compete with the Dollhouse. Tatum brings up winning the women's title, but Izzy talks about stealing the title from her about a month or so ago. Izzy then blamed Tatum for losing everyone because she's pathetic and incapable of being fixed. Tatum promises to win on Saturday, prove that she was never meant to be played with. And then she leaves, and Izzy has a temper tantrum, and she just breaks the Dollhouse apart. Damn, calm down. Somebody on her period. Oh. We get that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. We move on. Alright, then we got the Vanity Project. All three of them. Jackson Drake. Brett Butler and Smokes taking on Wank and Crank and my boy Shiloh Hill, the LFG Season 2 winner. Came this close to becoming North American champion. This close. We get that. It was a pretty wild match. The Project get jumped in the aisle to start. Go to break before the bell even rang. When we come back, join the progress. Jackson Drake is in trouble in the corner. Shallow's running shoulder puts him down, but then Smokes comes in to take over in their corner. And then, out of nowhere, Kiana Carver, otherwise known as Oba! Who? Femi 2.0. He comes out, starts yelling at Booker T, telling him to keep his name out of his goddamn mouth. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! So, Booker T, you better shut up! But then again, I'd love to see Kiana Carver beat his ass so I can take his job. Come on, Hunter, you know what to do. Call me. I digress. Moving on. Alright, so, that happened. And then, Smokes gets sit in a Tank's exposed stomach. Ew! Get in my belly! Pretty much. And, then the faces clear the ring to a nice reaction from the crowd. Baylor comes in off a blind tag, and it's back to Jackson Drake for a knee drop. Then gets shrugged off, and it's back to Tank, and everything breaks down again. Tank gets pulled to the floor, and crushed with the ring steps. Ow! That spot was crazy. He gets, he gets put, the steps, get shoved into him. He's, right into the apron. And then, I forgot who came over the rope, and then he hit Tank, and Tank's head went boing! I was like, damn! We get that. We go to break, come back, Tank gets the hot tag to Shiloh, who takes his tooth out, and he means business. A double backsplash gets a near fall, back to Jackson Drake, who gives Hank something close to a burning hammer! Something you don't see every day. I was having a little Dan Moff moment. Dan Moff, the guy who hates New York. He's from Jersey, that's why. I'm a legend! 68-year-old legend. 69, I don't know how old he is. He's old. But he looks in great shape for a guy that age. Former CCW Tag Team Champion. The same. Anyway, missed that guy. Anyway. Alright, so his burning hammer. Drake gets dropped with a Abyss! Black Hole Slam. And then Wank and Crank hit Stereo Flippy Dippity Doos onto the floor. And then Shadow's pop-up neck breaker. I think he pinned the champ. I could be wrong. But Shadow gets the win for his team in a little over 12.5 minutes. So there you go. Alright, match-wise was alright. 3 out of 5 stars. And then that's that. So after the match, they're celebrating in the aisleway. And then out of nowhere, Blake Monroe, she pops up on the announcer's table wearing all black. She means business. And says, this has to end with me and you, Jada Parker, at Vengeance Day. And it's gonna be a street fight, brother. So then Jada comes up and is like, oh yeah, you wanna fight? And then pretty much Shiloh, Hank, and Tank have to separate them. I think Hank got a little more than his money's worth by, there was some very suspect hand placement. I'm just saying, keep your hands to yourself, you bastards. See, I had to hold my woman back, or Blake Monroe back. I keep my hands to myself. Keep it right in the midsection. Right in the midsection. Don't go below the belt or go above the boobies. Or don't touch the boobies. Unless she really wanted you to touch the boobies. But I digress on that. Alright, so that's something. Alright, so Blake Monroe and Jada Parker in a street fight. That's gonna be brutal. And we move on. Alright, we go to back. Osiris Griffin has been attacked by, guess who? Tony D'Angelo. And then Dion Lennox and the rest of Dark State come in to check on him. And then Dion Lennox says, I'm gonna go out to the ring and call Tony D out. Oh boy. You better be careful what you wish for, dude. We get that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get a video of Lola Faces. Oh yes, caliente. She's at Dr. Martin's office and is told that she still needs time to heal her hand because if she goes into the match with Kaylani Jordan in NXT Underground, it might look bad. And it could get worse with deformities and, not looking good for Lola. And Lola's like, fuck! So Dr. Martin tells her she needs a little bit more time off. Lola's like, no, I want to fight. I want to fight. I'm a fighter. And Dr. Martin's like, no. If you go into this match, you're going to get deformities in your hand and possible permanent damage to your hand. So you might not be able to use your hand. If you know what I mean. Poppy might not like that. You might have to use the other hand. Shit. So, I don't know if NXT Underground match is going to happen on Saturday. We'll have to see what happens with that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then Dion Lennox comes out, calls out my cousin, Tony D, pops up in the crowd, says that Dark State took out a dangerous man, but a more dangerous man is here, and that's him. So, Dion challenges him to a match at Vengeance Day in the parking lot. Oh, great. We're going to get a parking lot brawl. Why not? So Tony D's like, I'm in. Alright, so we got that. Then he pretty much tells Dion, I'm going to beat you in the parking lot, drag you into this ring, and one of my two prophecies, per se, is going to come true. So we'll see what happens with that. I think Tony D's going to win. Tony D's gonna win. He already beat Cutler to bits. I'm surprised Cutler's still around. He took out Griffin, and now he's gonna take out Dion, pretty much the leader of Dark State, and then he's got Saquon Sugars to worry about. Then he gets that title shot, maybe a Stand and Deliver. Oh, sorry, Stand and Deliver. We get that. Speaking of that, we go to back with, I think, Sarah Schreiber, and we got the NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne. She thinks Sol Ruka is here for the main event, and then the rest of Fatal Influence, Fallon Doko, Don Henley, and Laney Reed understand their assignment, get JC to stand and deliver. And that's that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. Alright, then we get a little, No Quarter Catch Crew reunion. We had Mr. Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, and Tavion Heights. They're talking to each other. Then Myles comes in, thanks them for the help. They say they're spinning their wheels, per se. And then Lexis King and the rest of Birthright, the former TNA Intercontinental Champion, Stax Mahomes, and his hot wife, the TNA Knockouts Champion, Ariana Grace, along with Uriah Connors. They come in, tell Charlie Dempsey that the clock is ticking, and Tavion's not happy about all that. Might get a new member of Birthright. I call it Birthmark, but we got that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to the NXT Women's title match. Delta versus Jacy Jayne with Laney Reed and Fallon Henley at ringside. Pretty good match. It's also with Delta looking at Laney Reed and Fallon Henley to start. Gets jumped from behind by Jacy, but that gets choked off. Delta chokes her in the corner. Jacy rolls out to the floor. Then sends Delta into the ring steps. Ow! As we go to break, we come back. Delta hits a superplex for a double down. And then Delta gets up, hits some running elbows in the corner, sets up a suplex and a clothesline for a near fall. And Delta's getting a little bit pissy. JC Jane comes back in. It comes back with a running knee for a near fall. Goes for a rolling encore. That gets cut off with a mean old spear. And I think she was going for the cover, and Delta picked her up. Dumb. To get back up, JC hits the rolling encore. But then Sol Gulka comes in to take out Laney Reed and Fallon Henley. Then gets in the ring, hits a double Soul Snatcher for a double disqualification in under 11 minutes. I knew that was going to happen. Or Soul was going to screw Delta for becoming the NXT Women's Champion, but it worked out differently, but it's alright. Alright, so JC Mahal, still your reigning, defending NXT Women's Champion. And that's it. Match-wise, it was alright. 3 out of 5 stars. And fans kind of get a little bit mad about that. They sing something. I don't know what they were singing. And Sol Ruka starts beating the crap out of everybody. And then belt shots. Laney Reed's hands. Ow. That was vicious. But delicious at the same time. We move on with that. Alright, then we get the Vengeance Day rundown. Get that. And then we go to Robbie E's office. Talks about something involving the women's title. We couldn't really understand because the feed broke up. Good job, CW11. I guess we'll find out at Vengeance Day what's going to happen with the women's title. Maybe a triple threat match on the Houston show. We'll see. We get that. So I didn't rate that. Alright, then it's time for the Ricky Starks experience to end the show. He has his lights, he has his guitar, basically mocking Joe Hendry's concert. He says, I'm a musician, actor, and wrestler, so I'm here to one-up Joe Hendry's concerts. And the first song isn't exactly great music. It follows lyrics about how I believe in myself. And the dude can't even play guitar. It sounded really terrible, like out of tune. It was so bad, but Booker T loved it. Simp. Anyway. That just made Joe Hendry mad. So he requests a stagehand to give him a chair. Gets a chair. Starts singing again. And then he needs the mic fixed. Gets the mic fixed. And then he starts singing about how you should not believe in Joe Hendry. Then he's like, wait a minute. This guitar seems out of tune. Somebody get me another guitar. So he gets another guitar. But it's given to him by Joe Hendry. And then they start fighting. And then the Vanity Project run in for basically a 4-on-1 beatdown. And then Myles Ozzy Osbourne comes in for a quick save. Takes out the Vanity Project and Ricky Starks. And then both champions pose with their belts to end the show. And I was thinking, maybe a tag team match next week? We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so that ends NXT. Wasn't that bad. I gave it 6.5. Actually, it was kind of mid, but was decent to mid. So I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment down below. Or you can do your own video if you like. You can do whatever you want. And that's that. And that's it. Alright, once again, 6.5 out of 10 stars for NXT. And we'll see what happens at Vengeance Day this Saturday night. And we move on. Alright guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go record my Dynamite and Collision review right here on the channel. So you get 2 for the price of 1 on the channel. And then maybe later, or most likely tomorrow, we will talk about this week's edition of Dynamite. And then get you ready for TNA and Ring of Honor tomorrow night. We'll talk about that probably late tomorrow night. If not, late Friday night. And then we'll talk about SmackDown early Saturday. And then get you ready for predictions on episode 106 of the Shadow Slayer 2.0 with your Vengeance Day predictions. And then maybe late Saturday night or early Sunday, your Vengeance Day review right here on the channel. So please hit that bell and turn on all notifications so when those videos go up, you'll be first to see it. And if you're not seeing it, then hit the bell, unsubscribe, then resubscribe, hit the bell again. Hopefully that works. If not, blame Neil and his team of monkeys. They can't fix anything. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Like I said, I'm going to go record my Dynamite and Collision review. And then we'll get you ready for Dynamite. This week's edition of Dynamite. And that's pretty much it. But until next time, my friends, rock on and rock hard with your Cocoot! And if you're not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you, motherfuckers. Fuck you, man. And that's it. So, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. Be safe and be well, and we'll talk a little bit in a little bit. But until next time, peace.